Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, it's early in the morning, so good morning. Happy Friday to all of you. So I've already put out a video today. However, I came across this article and I thought that it's important for me to at least put this out so you guys can go and take a look at it and do your own research. So I'm not going to go ahead and read the whole article, but I'm going to read enough of it so that you can get the gist of what the article is about. And by the title, you should know pretty much what it's about. But I want to keep putting this out there so that you guys can stay informed. All right, those of you that want to stay informed. Those that don't, won't. Okay, so here it goes. Food crisis 2019. African swine fever outbreak devastates global pig population. Pork prices skyrocket. An absolutely devastating disease is wiping out herds of pigs all over Asia, and most people in the Western world don't even realize what is happening. Since it was first detected last August, there have been 116 officially reported outbreaks of African swine fever in China, and since that time, it has rapidly spread to surrounding nations such as Cambodia and Vietnam. African swine fever is not harmful to humans, but the vast majority of the pigs that catch it end up dead. It spreads very quickly and there is no cure, and this outbreak has already driven global pork prices through the roof. If this crisis continues to escalate, we are potentially talking about a crippling blow to global food production. Now, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, those of you that maybe don't eat pork may be saying, well, this is not going to affect me. I don't eat pork. Well, yes, it will. And let me tell you how. So if the demand of pork goes up, all right, and the price of pork becomes too expensive to become unattainable, people will flock to other things, to less expensive things, all right, like fish or cheap cuts of beef. For example, whenever the price of steak, of premium steak goes up, right, people that can no longer afford the steak purchase cheaper cuts, and then eventually when they can't afford those cheaper cuts, they purchase hamburger, and then eventually they're priced out of the market. So since this type of protein is becoming less available throughout the world, making the prices go up, it's going to make the prices of other things go up through the supply and demand structure, okay? Because if the supply is too high for pork and the price is too high, people are going to go elsewhere. They'll start buying cheaper cuts of meat, which will make the demand for those meats go up, which will make the price for those meats go up. So it's all kind of interconnected. Let's go. At this point, we don't know exactly how many pigs they have lost, but we have some numbers that at least give us an idea. For example, the Chinese government admitted that China's pig herd was 13% smaller in January compared to a year ago. China's pig herd fell 13% in January compared to the same month a year earlier, while the number of breeding sows was down 15% from the previous year, according to data on the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs. China once had a population of 430 million pigs. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. And taking 13% of that number would give us a total of 55.9 million pigs that have been lost. But there also have been allegations of a cover-up, and some believe that the true number of pigs that have been lost is closer to 100 million. In either case, we are talking about potentially apocalyptic losses. And when they say apocalyptic losses, I think they mean about losses to the pig herds, right? And these losses are really starting to move global pork prices. Over the last 2 weeks alone, we have witnessed a 20% increase. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a 20% increase in just a couple of weeks. Pork prices have been creeping higher since February as trading companies realize that there is less stock of hogs and market supply will become less. The pork price increased to 14.55 yuan, which is about $2.70 per kilogram last week, compared to 12 yuan, $1.80 2 or 3 weeks ago. Price increased 20% in 2 weeks, said Yan Wang from China Agriculture Universities. And ladies and gentlemen, just take a look at the chart here. So you can see we were down here, and in just the last 2 weeks, this is what's happened to pork prices. All right. So I'm not sure if this is the only thing that's affecting pork prices. I'm sure that the floods, I know we've lost, I saw an article here a while back that due to weather in the U.S., we've lost like 500,000 plus pigs. All right. But that's what I wanted to put out in this article. So you guys can go check it out. You can go take a look at the link. I'll leave the link below. But let me go ahead and read on a little bit more. All over the world, anything with pork in it is going to start costing a lot more. And when you couple this with all of the other disasters that have hit global food production in recent months, the truth is that we are potentially facing a major global food crisis later in 2019. And remember, this outbreak of African swine fever is far from over. In fact, fresh outbreaks continue to come in from all over China. Reports of another outbreak of African swine fever in China's Hubei province in the central part of the country were confirmed on March 31st. According to China's Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, all 83 pigs on the farm were infected with the disease, which killed 73 of them. At the second 142 head pig farm, 8 hogs were infected and 5 died, the statement said. In Vietnam, the prime minister is officially freaking out as this disease pops up in various areas in his nation, around his nation. Vietnam's prime minister has called for drastic measures to fight the spread of the African swine fever in Southeast Asian country. State media reported on Tuesday. The highly contagious disease, which is incurable in pigs but harmless to humans. You know how they keep saying that, but harmless to humans. They said that like 2 or 3 times already in this article, right? So we're talking about pigs, but they keep saying, but harmless to humans. If I had to guess, they're probably going to take the pigs that die from that disease and process them. I'm just guessing. I have no idea if that's what they're doing. Has spread rapidly across neighboring China since August and has been found in 7 areas in Vietnam. The state-run Vietnam News Service reported. 95 million people live in Vietnam, and pork accounts for approximately 3/4 of all meat consumption in that country. If a large percentage of the pigs are suddenly wiped out, that is going to cause massive problems. African swine fever is also ripping through pig herds in Cambodia. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys get the gist of this, okay? We are being hit from several sides as far as food goes, as far as food security goes. Okay, so do I have any recommendations? Me personally, this year I'm going to start a garden for the very first time. I've never actually started a garden before, but I'm going to do it for the very first time. I'm going to grow a very limited amount of produce to get my hands dirty. All right. I'm also going to buy some meat chickens or meat chicken chicks, right? And I'm going to make a little spot for them. I'm going to feed them, at least learn how to care for them for the 8 to 11 weeks that they'll be here. Let them be chickens, let them be happy chickens, and then process them and put them in my freezer for my own consumption, my family's consumption. Okay, those are some of the things that I'm going to be doing. In addition to that, I'm going to continue to prep. Okay, let me tell you a real quick funny story, right? Because I don't have too much time. I have to get ready for work. I'm starting to learn to master the art of trolls, of trying to put trolls to the side. So I think it was my last payday prep video that I put up. I had some guy comment. I think his name was Mark. Not sure. But had him comment saying, he pretty much said that, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, you should be ashamed of yourself for taking the last of those. And I think he was talking about the agave that I bought from the clearance aisle. He said, you should be ashamed of yourself for taking all of them. Because I did. I bought all 9 agave that were on the clearance rack and not leaving any for your community. And I'm like, really? I should be ashamed of myself for having the forethought to look out for my family in the case that something happens. I should be ashamed of myself for using the money that I earned through the sweat of my brow and through the contribution of my time to go buy something in a store that was selling it to the public, of whom had plenty of time to purchase that said item because it was on the shelf for months, more than likely, if not for over a year, that it's now ended up in the clearance rack. And then he went to my other video where I purchased I think it was the 35 pounds of pork that I purchased. And he said the same thing. So something like, you only care about yourself, you're not leaving anything else for the community. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to do something for your community, then prep. Okay? Then prep. At first, his comments kind of like made me think, like, am I being immoral by buying all of the agave? Or am I being immoral by, buying as many of the pork butts that I did? No, I'm not. And I really thought about it. I had to step back and just think a little bit. And I think that the most moral thing that you can do is that when you see a sale, when you see something that is such a great deal that you will be able to use in the future, I think the most moral thing you can do for yourself, for your family, and for your community is to buy it. Because if it was on the clearance rack, obviously not enough people wanted it to buy it. That's why it ended up on the clearance rack, or it's damaged and people don't want to buy it damaged. So don't feel bad about taking the last one. Don't feel bad about somebody giving you the eye and saying, hey, wow, you got a lot of agave there. What are you going to do with all that agave? First of all, it's none of their business, number one. And second of all, obviously somebody didn't want that. Enough people did not want that product for it to end up on the clearance aisle. So get it, all right? Don't let those kinds of comments or suggestive reasonings get to you. Get it, because you are doing your community a service by stocking up. You're doing your family a service by stocking up. You're actually enabling yourself to not be part of the problem should there ever be a crisis. All right. So stock up, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time to do it. Okay. I'm going to keep banging on that same bell. I'm going to keep saying the same things over and over again, because it is important that we listen to ourselves and what's going on. All right. That's why I like to read these kind of articles. Well, I don't like to read it because it's actually happening, but I like to keep you guys informed so that you can make a decision that you come up with yourselves. All right. And then I think another comment that he left was something like, you're hurting your own community by buying all this stuff for yourself, and you're making money off of YouTube. I'm like, oh, wow. Obviously, he hasn't been watching my channel for a while. Okay, because I confess, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is Alaska Prepper's confession. I really have like 500 acres of land, and I have a few 1 million square foot warehouses. And every time that I get my $3 million check from YouTube, I go and I buy everything in the entire community and I hoard it for myself because I don't want anyone else to have it. So many blessings to you, Mark, if you're listening to this. If you're not, many blessings to you anyways. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I hope you got a little something out of this video. I think it's important that we continue to be reminded and remind ourselves that we cannot stop prepping. All right. Think outside the box. Think of things that you're going to need in the future. If you can get them now, get them now. All right, because they're only going to be more expensive in the future. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get ready for work. So thank you again for joining me. Thank you for all of your support. Truly do appreciate it. Okay. And also, thank you very much to all the new subscribers. Thank you, guys. I will do a subscriber shout out for this Sunday's live chat. Okay, I'll do a subscriber shout out for that video. All right. So for those of you that are new, that don't know, we do have a live chat every Sunday. It used to be Saturday and Sunday, but I started taking Saturdays off of that. But Sunday at 8 a.m. Alaska time. Okay, 8 a.m. Alaska time. We have a premiere live chat that you can join in on. So you're very welcome to come over. All right. From now on, whenever I do giveaways, I'm only going to do it during the chats. Okay. I will only do the giveaways during the chats to people that are actually there. Okay. So we'll talk to you guys then. Okay. I'm not sure if I'll put a video out for Saturday, but if I don't, we'll talk to you guys on Sunday. Okay, so thank you again to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the community. I hope you're getting a lot of value and maybe a little bit of entertainment as well from the content. Remember that when good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.